You know, when it comes to sight fishing, first of all, I've got buddies that think one way, I've got buddies that think another way. I know how I think. Like I said, I'm always trying to get into the head of this fish. I'm always trying to figure out, most important, I guess what this whole thing will be about pretty much is the attitude, figuring out this fish's attitude. But first and most important, the eyewear. That's my biggest deal. Everything I do is, you know, when it comes to sight fishing and really just being on the water, period. It doesn't really matter if it's pre-spawn, post-spawn, or during the spawn. My eyewear is one of my most important things. Every body of water, the water color, I mean, we can pull up, and I can tell you now this has happened to every one of us. We all get to a lake, we're getting ready to start practice, we're getting ready to fish a tournament or whatever, or we're just, our wives have us shopping somewhere and it's by a lake, and the guys, you know, are gonna look at it and go, man, we always make the deal, that water sure is nasty, or man, that water's clear. But you always have it, it seems like you have it in your head that the color of lens of gray is gonna be perfect on whatever the water looks like. It's not the case. Where I live, I've got Lake Hamilton, Lake Ouachita, Lake DeGray, I've got Greers Ferry. I've got several lakes that are all normally clear. But on a cloudy day, on like Lake Hamilton, the brown lens, some people call it the bronze, but the brown lens is the lens I go to. I mean, that's the one I'm gonna go to on a cloudy day. I can basically carry it to each and every body of water there where I live on a cloudy day. That's the lens I want to wear. But then I turn around and the sun comes out, and on Hamilton, I want to change to a gray lens, a green mirrored lens, something a little darker that shows me what I want to see and everything. But on Lake Ouachita, I want to stay with my brown. So what I do is when I get to each lake, it doesn't matter where it's at in the country, the first thing I do is I pick me out several things on the bottom of the lake, and I start changing glasses to where the one I put on that goes boom, there it is, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's the pair I wear for that day and for that body of water. Now, whenever I'm on a deal, it's a sight fishing deal. And this has happened several times. I know it's happened to some of y'all somewhere along the way, that a lake's been low through most of the spring or whatever. It's time for the fish to go on the beds. We've had some warm weather. The grass has started growing, not the grass in the lake bank, you know, whatever it is on the bank, whether it's regular old Bermuda or whatever it is, you know, just yard grass, and the lake come up and those fish go to bed. And I know you've all seen this before. You'll be going down a bank during spawning season and you'll see this fish, he'll swim off, you'll sit back off and watch him, he'll come back to an area right there and stay in an area, and you cannot for your life find the bed that he's on. I mean, it's happened to everybody. And certain bodies of water, a bed's hard to see. Certain bodies of water, you can see them 25 miles down the lake. You're going, my gosh, what's that glow down there, you know? I mean, it's that obvious. And so that's another thing I do. When I get to a body of water, the first thing I try to do is I find, if it's new to me or if I know they're on beds or whatever, I try to find 2 or 3 fish that are on beds. And I go through this same procedure again. I back up, I take my glasses off, and I put on all 3 colors that I like to carry in my boat. I'm swapping them out until I see either what that bed tells me the best, you know, hey, boom, there it is, it's glowing, or that fish stands out the most. The main thing about all this is figuring out their attitude and what they're going to do. And once I do this and I figure them out, and I get a fish where I want it, and I do the natural, you know, I try the natural stuff on it and fish natural, and I can't get that fish to bite, then I'm going to change. And when I change to white, pink, in a lizard, a tube, a rocket crawl, whatever it is, I try to go to something that's very visible. I want to be able to really see this bait.
What's a rocket crawl?
It's Berkeley. It's a Berkeley bait. It looks just like yep. So anyway, the color, I go to the brightest thing I can see, and I mean chartreuse is good too. But and the reason why is my whole intentions, my whole way of fishing, my attitude's changed, and that fish doesn't know it, but its attitude's fixing to change because I'm fixing to change it. And by doing that,
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.